Well, hello everyone. You're watching this video because you're probably so tired of posting content that never works, that you've tried every single playbook in the book. You probably tried all the different trends, all the different hooks, all the different tips that you see on Instagram. You took courses, but everything failed. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm gonna tell you exactly why it didn't work for you. And most importantly, I'm going to show you one thing that nobody in the industry is talking about, but that's the part that's missing in your content. And that's the thing, if you implement it today, it will already change your content for the better. I'm pretty sure you already know this feeling. When you open Instagram, you see someone else's post, you feel like you need to post something as well, but you're just so confused. So you just decide that you'll close the app and you post tomorrow or whenever you feel like it. And the funny thing is that I'm pretty sure that people in your life, they already come to you for advice and it works. You already have maybe clients, or maybe you're like helping some of your friends in the area that you know you're good at. But online, you feel like you're talking to the wall and nothing converts. And it's not like you didn't try anything. You already bought all the courses. You tried different hooks. You saved all these videos where it say, this is how to set up your Instagram algorithm. This is the tips that you need to do in order to make sure your reels will work. Restart, you rebranded, but nothing changed. And obviously it all leads to this thing creeping into your mind that maybe you're just not cut out for this. The problem, and to be honest, is that you're just missing a component, and people don't really talk about it, but that's what makes the whole system glue together and work. But before we go into this, I wanted to show you something about the industry as well. The thing is with online education is that it sells you the wrong solution, kind of. Every course, every hook library, every template, they're all built to be consumed. And it doesn't give you a long-term solution. It gives you a small fix that will feel you better for 1 second, but it's not going to work in the long run. And that's how it's supposed to be done, because if it's actually worked, you would stop buying. And it all leads to the kind of the setup where you just playing the game without the right cards. Or it's like you're trying to navigate the map with the blindfold, and this blindfold has 3 layers, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I talk about. And I know that you've already tried to fix this. You bought the course, and probably not even one. You finished the modules, you posted whatever templates they said, you posted the hooks they used, but in the end nothing changed. And the tactics, to be honest, they're not bad. It's just there was a missing piece in there. The missing piece was you, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. You even probably maybe tried to hire someone to do it. I know a lot of people, they think that they can hire a VA or social media manager and the person would do the content. It would look fine, maybe it will even look like brand aligned, but nobody bought. And the reason behind it is that the content looks fine, but it doesn't show your story, it doesn't show your perspective, and it doesn't sell your offer well enough to make sure people understand it and they would want to buy. And obviously Instagram is full of, this is the 10 hooks that you need to use to make sure that your reels will go viral. And maybe some of your reels will get some traction, they will get some saves, maybe you'll get some followers. But again, probably almost non-client conversation. And it's because these hooks, they're just built for kind of virality, but without your positioning, it doesn't work. And I also know a lot of people think, oh, it's just my niche is too bad. I need to restart, I need to rebrand, I need to do different colors. I know people spend weeks trying to figure out what is their color palette and everything. But rebrand doesn't fix the inner part that was missing from your content. And if we talk about the blindfold, it has 3 layers. And the first one is that you're posting content without solid offer. You can't clearly specify in one sentence, like, the elevator pitch, what you actually do. What is the product, who it is for, what problem it solves, why you are the one who should be doing this product, and why it's different from someone else's. Until you have a clear understanding of your offer and your part in it, it's not going to work. Second one is 1D positioning, and this is what's happening with so many experts. I know with so many clients who come to work with me saying none of the efforts work. The thing is that you show up just as an expert only. You post all the how to post, you post all the boring expert stuff, credentials if you have them, but that's what every other expert does too. And I'm not saying that you don't need to post it because it is obviously an important part, but it's not just the only thing. And if you're posting just this type of content, you're invisible. And the third one is that it kind of links to the previous one as well, is there is no identity online. When you talk to people in real life, they know who you are. They know your story, they know how you talk, they know what you believe in. But online, you sound just like a book, not a person. You don't talk about your point of views, you don't talk about your story, you don't talk about what makes you human, what makes you real, and how people can choose you when there are 10 other experts who are talking about the same thing. And I know it because I was in the same position as you guys. I was trying so hard to build something online. I spent 6.5 years in corporate. I was competent. I worked as a head of marketing. I knew what I was doing, but I was completely invisible online. And when I started less than a year ago, I had no audience, no clients, no plan. I was trying and I was doing all of the mistakes that I talked about before as well. I was trying to find the trends, I was trying to find all the people who were posting expert content and do something similar. And it was not working. And then I found what was missing. I found this my 3D method. And thanks to that, I built 2 of my Instagram accounts to 20K. I launched an agency and it's growing faster than I could ever imagine. I replaced my income in under a year, and right now I'm almost already at the double of my income from the year when I was in a corporate. And this method that helped me to do that, this is exactly what I created this video about. And it doesn't work just for me, it also works for my clients. For example, one of my clients, she came to me, she had absolutely dead account. She had like 100 followers from years ago who didn't even remember her. No traction, no clear offers. She had no idea what to do, how to grow it, but she really wanted to build that account. We worked together for 5 weeks, and in that 5 weeks, we revived her Instagram account. We decided to do an online event. We got 100 registrations for this online event from zero, and after this online event, she even made the first sale, which was like obviously quite crazy for her. And all my expertise and all my experience comes from the fact that I build my accounts. I work with people at different levels, but some of the people who I work with, for example, one of them is the startup founder. She used to be a Microsoft director in the States. I also work with the CEO of multi-million agency. I work with people with 10K, 20K, 80K audience, and I see this problem repeating at every stage, whether you're at 0, whether you're at 5K, whether you're at 10K, whether you're at 80K. And what I find in every client is that they all are experts. They know exactly what they're doing. They know their things. And they try for a long time. But the problem is always the same. They just showing up one part of their personality online. And buyers, they need to see 3. They need to see the full circle. And this is what happens when you shift from 1D expert to 3D authority person. 1D expert posts tips and how to, and they don't show any reason for their audience to pick them against someone else. When you show up as a 3D authority person, you show expertise, perspective, and experience. And people will remember you. They will remember you as a person. And this content leads to conversations, and clients come to you when they're already convinced. What happens with me, because people know me as a person, my close rate on my sales call is 90% because people see me as a full person. So it just becomes so much easier first to get leads and then to convert leads. So if we talk about all these 3 dimensions and details, the first one is the expertise. This is what usually people do, and just this. This is basically what you know. All your skills, all the results, all the process, basically all the expert information, how to lose weight, how to stay productive, how to buy a house. So it's basically like the basis of the account is your expertise, what you're talking about, your niche. And everyone in your space shows this. It's necessary, you need to show that, because you can't try to sell some of your products or your services if people don't know that you're an expert in this. But also, if you use just this, you will sound like everyone else. And usually people, they just stay here and they don't go to the next stages. The second dimension is perspective. This is what you believe, your actual opinion, what you think is wrong and what you think is right, what you think the industry is doing wrong. This is your, sometimes like some of your contrarian beliefs. And it's okay that some people might not agree with you, but if you talk in what you believe, people will start understanding you and they will start remembering you. For example, I always say I don't believe in this master resell rights because it's a complete scam. And I know that there are a lot of people who disagree with me and they think that this will be their fairy tale to success. And it's fine, they unfollow me. But I also don't want people who come to me for the get rich fast schemes. So it's okay if all these MRR funds, they will unfollow me. I'm fine with that. They're not my target audience anyway. And this dimension allows you to connect with people on a personal level. They will understand that you believe in the same things as they are. It kind of like filters your people from the big bunch of people online in general. And in this, you can even sometimes say not just, for example, things connected to your niche, but in general, what you believe in the world. So, because again, when you would go and talk to someone in the event, for example, you would say, oh, I think this is wrong in life, or this is wrong in the world. That's what you need to be doing in your content. And the last part is the experience. This is what you lived, how you live, and where you're going. This is the specific moments that shape how you work. The story behind why you're doing what you're doing. The story about your goals. Why are you working on some project? Where do you want to go? This helps people to understand you, what you live, how your day looks like. And I'm not saying that you need to become an influencer and show every day of your life, but for example, give people the context in terms of where you've been, what you're doing now, and where you're going. This way people will feel like they know you in real life, they know you as a person, they know what you're doing, and obviously this will help them trust you. And if you talk about how this look like in real content, for example, there is the expert would say 5 ways to improve your morning routine. This is exactly what every single person can say. It is forgettable, it could be written by anyone, no reason to follow you. And yeah, maybe it will get some saves, but people will not remember you from this post. The 3D person would say, I spent 3 years optimizing my mornings. All I did was make me more productive at the wrong things. Here is what I actually changed. You're showing exactly what didn't work for you. You're showing your story. You're showing how you got to somewhere. And the reader believes you. Reader thinks you get it. Reader feel like this is the real story. So obviously at this time the trust gets built faster and people will start reaching out to you. And it's working for the framing of all your content, the expert content, but it also works for, in general, sometimes sharing the stories of your life that might not be super expert related, but in general showing you as a 3D person, what you believe in, what you're going, what are your goals, what do you want to achieve, why you think this is important and this is not. Just show, like, I always say, why I came to this strategy in general is that I realized when I'm, for example, talking to a person on the call and it's like a sales call, I just talk to them as I am. I talk about my things, I talk about my life, I talk about my views on the world, and people close. And I realized that's because they get to know me, they start trusting me as the person. And that's exactly how some of my best performing reels were created when I didn't have this method as formulated yet, but I was just testing it out. They said, like, some of my best reels were, I spent 6 years in corporate and I had no idea what to do. I was straight away showing my story and content, and that's why it's resonated with other people. So a quick test for you. If someone lands on your profile right now, do they see your expertise, your perspective, and your experience? Or they just see expert tips? And be honest here, because the answer to this question explains why you gotten some results or why you didn't get them. and I'm going to give you how to start fixing it right now. So this is very important, so you can pause this video if you want to and write these 3 sentences. The first sentence is about your expertise. I help who get specific results by your approach. And do it super specific, not just say I help coaches with marketing. It's not gonna work. What do they actually get? For example, for me it would be I help experts who already try to grow on social media but nothing works for them create content to get clients and leads from social media using the 3D method. And then for the second one, write your perspective. Usually it says most people, it doesn't have to be exactly this phrasing, but most people in my space say X. I think that's wrong because of Y. And pick something you actually believe in. So for example, as I mentioned before, I clearly say all the time that master resell rights are a scam. So I'm saying most people in my space say that you can just resell the course and get rich even if you don't have expertise. I think that's wrong because you need to build your personal brand, which is based on who you are, what you know, and how you can help people. And the third one is experience. When something happened, I realized. Name the exact moment. For example, with me, I say when Microsoft this year laid off 10,000 people in one day, I realized that the personal brand is the only stability that we can build for the future because job security is clearly not one. Just write these 3 sentences and it will help you already build your positioning online. And most people, they can't answer all 3. If you can, you're already ahead. So try to remember these 3 things and try to implement them slowly in your content, in your hooks, in your captions. Do some certain videos just about you and your views in this world, and you will see how people will start reacting to your content more, how they will start remembering you more. I use it for myself. I use it for all of my clients who I work with. One of my clients who came to me recently, she had like 10k followers, but all she was posting was super expert tips, and she got to 10k because she used ads. Also valid, but then all her views were like 500 views. There was absolutely no engagement, there was absolutely no inquiries. We started posting using this method, showing her as a real person, showing as how she came into industry, what she's doing, what she believes in. And in a couple of weeks, she already started getting more clients. Her TikTok, we were starting from 300 followers. In 2 weeks, it was already at 800. And there were inquiries coming from there. This is very important because right now, especially with the AI, anyone can kind of create expert content, but no one can create content that can be said just by you. So please just remember this and try to implement it in your content. And if you want to build all these 3 dimensions properly, systematically, to make sure that your content creates a proper 3D person version of you online, let me show you how I do that. I have my 3D Authority Accelerator, which is 12 weeks. It's split in 6 phases. We obviously start with positioning to figure out who you are, what you stand for, and how you want to be positioned online. We build your 3D method. We build you as a 3D person online so that your content would cover all of these 3 dimensions. We do audience research because, again, so many people create content without even thinking about their target audience and how to talk to them. We go deep into this and we make sure that when you create content and when your target audience sees this content, they feel like you are reading their mind. And we build your offer in a way that it's super clear, it's super specific, and it's super tasty for your target audience. They feel like they can't say no because you're covering everything that they need to. And we use your unique method, your unique positioning in there, and build something that only you can help them with. Obviously, we create content around the system to make sure that you get leads organically. And we also build funnels to make sure that you don't need to sell everything like in stories and launches, but everything goes smoothly through your system. And you kind of create content, people go through the funnel, and it all obviously comes to revenue. I already worked with so many people, and I know that my clients get results, that I always give the guarantee that if you do all the work, if you go through the modules and you implement what you need to do, and if you haven't received a single inbound inquiry within 90 days, I will work with you personally for free until you do. So if you feel like you are stuck for so long with your content and nothing is working, you can book a free 30-minute session with me and I'll personally review your situation. It's not the sales call. I will actually look at your content. I will actually look at your position, and I will actually look at funnels, and I will see what's missing. So I will tell you what's holding you back and give you something real that you can implement straight away. And I'll help you no matter if you join the accelerator or not. This call is for us to understand if we both are fit, because I only do this either as individual sessions or as a small group session, just up to 5 people, because I want to make sure I have enough time to work with every single person in there. So if you feel like you're interested in this, you can book your session below. If not, that's also totally fine. And if you feel like it's quite early for you, that's also okay. You can just start implementing the things that I talked about in this video, and you will see how your content will start changing for the better. Thank you so much.